Alina here from debthaters.com, and here's how our family of four is getting by while on a debt-free journey. So we're low income earners, with my husband being a public school teacher. So if you know, you know. And I have a very small part-time job on the weekends. Otherwise, I homeschool our kids during the week. And our debt-free journey started in 2020 with over $130,000 of debt. And we had phones, we had a car loan, we had medical stuff, and of course, student loans, because we are millennials, and that's just what you do. After like years of sacrifice and just a bunch of stuff, we started 2023 with bringing that debt down to $39,000. And that's active debt. I explained active and inactive debt in another video, so be sure to check that out. But we paid off like $60,000 or so of debt in the last 3 years from doing three main things. That's decreasing our expenses, increasing our income, and throwing as much as possible towards debt. And budgeting has helped us do all that. And we'll just keep doing all that until this debt is like finito, until it is gone and just out our lives so we can move on. So speaking of finances, we did some extra spending since our last budget breakdown, which I hope isn't lifestyle creep. Like, I didn't think I would fall to that, but I don't know, maybe I just did. It's just really tempting when you have a bunch of money, like you get paid a lot or got a bonus or just whatever, or we're making extra money from these extra jobs, and we have so many needs. Like, we've gone, like I said, for years without, like, just barely getting by. And it's like, oh, money, okay, great, I can buy this. And it's not like it's a lavish luxury. It's like, hey, I need new underwear, or hey, I need this. And it's like, this extra money is supposed to go to debt. I can't use it for my needs. And some of that wasn't that extreme. Maybe that was an extreme case. But let's quickly go over those like two big unbudgeted expenses, and then we'll get into this budget, I promise. So hang in there. All right, so January, my daughter's birthday, and we set aside $250 for that. We had the cash in the envelope. We were ready to go. We ended up doing a birthday party at our church gym, so there wasn't any cost to rent or anything. And we did cupcakes and ice cream, so I didn't do a whole spread. I mean, I did add like some chips and dip and some fruit and like just some other little stuff. But we ended up spending more money than the $250. I mean, we got her gifts and just balloons and so on and so on and so on. So that kind of ate away at the extra money that we made. And then we got a gym membership. My husband and I are both kind of on a health journey as well. You know, we're in our 30s. Our metabolism is not what it was. And we have some extra weight that we're trying to get rid of. And obviously just to be healthier, just to take care of our bodies, you know. The membership, my husband and I both had to pay, even though we probably will never use the gym at the same time because of childcare. Somebody has to stay with the children. We were actually doing at-home workouts, like following a YouTube channel, which I'll link down below, which I think they're still great. And we were just doing the old workouts, like from the old videos. And a lot of times we were just rewatching the same videos, and it was fine. But here's the major reason. So I wanted an indoor track. So I'm a runner, sort of. I say runner, but I'm trying to get back into running. I'll say it like that. And there's just been such bad news, I hate to say, about, you know, abductions. People trying to run outside and people, you know, go missing. And just, it seems very little, like maybe it is, but that got me, because I used to run outside. Like, it just go outside the neighborhood and run. It's like, well, now it seems like that is very dangerous. Like, you can lose your life if you just want to go exercise, which is horrible and unfortunate that we live in a world that way, but we do. So I was like, well, what am I going to do? And I thought about an indoor track. So it was that track, and then it was our lack of consistency with our workouts. I figure if we actually paid for a gym, we'd be more committed to using it. though we have been working out, it's been sporadic. Like it's not regular. Sometimes we'll skip and so on and so forth. Sometimes our children will wake up. We have to move furniture around. Like I said, the children, would be in there too. And it's difficult trying to do all that at home without having a dedicated space for it. Maybe I'm just making excuses, but we went ahead and got that. Now, I say all that about commitment while we haven't been to that gym in a week now. We're actually still kind of recovering from birthday and a couple like back-to-back deadlines Oren had with his contract work. Oren, my husband, he teaches, but then he does like a bunch of other jobs. So he had like back-to-back deadlines. So he's been staying up late, waking up early, all that stuff. So he haven't made it to the gym. The gym was $120 per person plus fees. So it came to $283. And we actually used some old birthday money to kind of lessen the blow. I had some old money from a family member and it had just been sitting there. So I used some of that and the rest we paid on our own. And like I said, it could have been worse because I've actually been thinking about putting our 4-year-old in like a 2-day-a-week program, like childcare program, just so I can get like more stuff done. Like work-wise, like reselling or working on budget stuff or all these things I want to do. And I figure, hey, if I had a couple of days, I could work on that. But it would also be good for him to be around other kids, but that would run us like $200 a month. And technically, we can swing it. We can afford it, but we're just trying to keep everything like pretty tight so that we can throw as much as possible towards debt. And so we can just, like I said, get out of this situation sooner so we can just like move on. So speaking of moving on, let's get to the budget. This is for the last week of January, the last week of January going into February. My husband's paycheck from his second job, like it alternates with his main job. So his January 27th pay was $754.13. My check was $436.16, and then we had $2,092.11 from rollover. This amount is just because we skipped like a couple budget weeks and the money had just been sitting there. Like we only used it to pay the necessary bills and that extra spending, but it was just sitting there otherwise. So total income that we're budgeting comes to $3,282.40. Our normal tithe, groceries, and gas. Next up are a few subscriptions. So Google storage, $2.99 and $18.56 for Covenant Eyes, and a $5 service fee for one of our accounts, and then another $2.99 for Apple. All right, now here's where our big expenses come in at. February rent is due this week, coming in at $1,677.95, which includes fees besides just the rent. So it's rent plus fees. And we rent a 2-bedroom apartment in the Nashville, Tennessee area. Our apartment's like just under 1,000 square feet. And the price that we, signed the lease for was $1,639, which is crazy considering that when we first got married, like about 10 years ago, our rent was like $595. Like I remember it being that low. We're setting aside $85 for water this week since I can't actually find the actual paper bill right now. And the online account isn't updated right now. So I'm budgeting this amount. I'm pretty sure it should cover it. Car insurance is $97.11 this month. Next month, this is going up, unfortunately. We'll be paying around $110 per month for car insurance on 2 vehicles. One's a 05, one's a 2011, and that's just because our premium went up, which is my fault. I got into, I guess you would say, like a fender bender back in September, and I was at fault, you know, like I said. So our insurance went up. I was like on the interstate in traffic, the kind that's just like inching along, so you're like really close to everybody and everybody's just like moving along snail pace. It was around like lunchtime, and I was looking at my phone, you know, I admitted to that, and I wasn't paying attention, and I inched right along into someone else. And it was a truck with a hitch, so I mean their truck wasn't damaged. You know, I hit the hitch, but you know, still not trying to pass blame or anything, but we were on our way to like a homeschool group meetup. Like I was trying to take my kids to something enriching, you know, and if we didn't live in a metro area where I didn't have to get on the interstate, I'm thinking traffic issues like this could be avoided. So if and when we do buy a house, I want to settle in an area where we don't have to get on the interstate. Like, I'm just not a fan. Like, I'm just not. Like, highway driving, getting over, trying to get to your exit, find your exit, and then stuff's all twirling around. Like, I'm not a fan. Next up is our cell phones. And this month, it's pretty consistent. We pay $110.24. And then, just as predicted, our electricity bill came in. And it's a lovely $299 even. Like, if you remember, I told y'all how we got up to like $300 from our electric bill last winter. So here it is again. Like, hey girl, hey. And what's so funny is like it's $299. Like, it's $1 less than what I said, but okay. So yeah, our electric isn't actually due this week. So what I'm doing, I'm actually not paying $299. I'm going to we're setting aside $200 so that when it is due, it's not such a big blow. So this money, I'm just going to park it into another account so that when it's due later in February, it's like the second week of February, we'll just have to pay the $99 and $10 as a buffer. So total expenses for this week comes to $2,571.84. That leaves $710.56 going towards debt. And we actually went ahead and paid that to the next debt on our snowball. So we're chipping away at that loan, and numbers are actually going down, which is awesome. To see all that, check out our January debt update video. Wherever you are on your debt-free journey, keep at it.